friends got quite the surprise when both had news of their wives. My baby is due the same time as you. How the do we keep them alive? This is Do We're Dads.
I've been trying to get back in the headspace of the birth, because I don't know about you, but it feels like an eternity ago. It's been 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And so I had to sit down with my wife for an hour, and she recounted to me her whole experience. And I recorded it, and I listened to it.
You studied it?
Yeah, because that's my brain. Like, I got nothing left. Like, I got this moment and the baby, and that's what exists for me.
Honestly, after the birth, like from being... Actually, the last podcast we filmed, from the hospital to that podcast where we talked about Winnie, that has been a blur. Like, I'm saying that hospital experience, like when she was born to at the NICU, that felt like it was 2 days we were there.
Yeah.
It was, I think, almost 5.
We are getting close to a month since our children arrived.
It's weird. It's very weird.
Yeah. I do not understand that.
It's also weird seeing how much bigger she is.
Okay.
Like, we went back, and obviously when she was born, she was, I don't know, 6'13".
Yeah.
But we went back and we're looking at pictures of her, and she looks a lot skinnier. And now she's like getting chunky.
She's bulking up.
Oh, dude. My mom told me whenever me and all the kids, whenever we were around 6 months, that's when we like blew up, like got really chunky. Like they used to call me Baby Bubblicious.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And so I was a thick baby, but hit at 6 months. And she's starting to, she got that neck roll.
Yeah.
When she leans back, she has
that props her up. While she doesn't have the neck support, the neck roll keeps her.
That's what you know how like you're supposed to put your finger under their chin when you're feeding them, or like have their head lean back.
Yeah.
So the doctor told us you could put your finger under there, or you can have them lean back. Her chin is that cushion.
What if I can't fit my feet? There's no
She's
room.
Funny, dude. It's awesome.
It is cool. It's cooler than I can actually like appreciate. Because like you said, like it's all a blur.
Yeah.
And I think what I'm glad about this is there are going to be memories that are on this podcast that I will not retain at all. I'll look back and be like, oh yeah, that was a part of my child's life. And I'm grateful for that.
They said to enjoy the times now while they can't walk. Because once they can
Is
start...
that a threat?
No, like once they're mobile...
Be a shame if...
Like, I know I'm talking into the future,
Yeah.
but like once they're mobile, apparently that's when it gets like chaotic.
Yeah.
Because now they're just sitting there, they're sleeping, they're eating, they're pooping, and it's fine. And I'm already thinking it's like, oh my gosh. But when they can start walking, that's when it starts getting to be like, holy shit. I can't wait for it, but...
You know what I'm scared about? I'm scared about when I tell them to go to their room and they finally had enough of my shit, and he's like, I'm going to run away. You know, he packs up his little bag and all that. And I see him like just in the backyard, just walk into the woods. Yeah. I like his lack of mobility. It's nice knowing he's exactly where I left him.
I overheard my boss talking about they use lights for their... I don't know how old his daughter is. I think she's like 2 or 3. But they use lights. Like they have a red light, green light, and a yellow light in her bedroom. And so on the weekends, if she wakes up early and the light's still red, she knows she has to stay in bed. If it's yellow, she can play in her room. And if it's green, she can come out.
That's interesting.
And
How old is the kid?
I couldn't remember how old his daughter. I think she's around 2 or 3.
Okay.
I think she has to be 3.
Yeah.
Maybe she's even 4.
I wonder if that's useful like at this age, like any kind of color thing.
They can't see color. Well, they can.
And that's useless.
It's black. I think because we have a
black,
toy
white, and red.
Yeah, because we have a toy upstairs that's all black, white, and red.
Yeah, we got a book that it doesn't flip. Like you open it and the pages just fan out, and then you stand it next to the baby.
Okay.
And so they can just look at all the pictures. He's so fascinated by that. He loves it so
She loves
much.
my hat.
Oh yeah.
Like if I'm
high contrast, yeah.
Well, if I'm sitting here like this, and she'll just like googly eyes look at my hat, I'm like, and so I take the hat off and I put it over here, and she'll turn her head and start staring at it. I'm just like, yeah, it's a hat.
Yeah. Yeah, the stitching is just so
well, it's because
clear.
the white right here.
Yeah.
I think that's what she's looking at. But like if she's in my arms like this, she's not looking in my eyes. She's looking at the bill of my hat.
Yeah.
It's weird.
He makes good eye contact when his eyes aren't cross-eyed. That makes me so nervous.
Why?
Like, I used to mess with my mom. Like, she'd get mad at me when I cross my eyes. She'd be like, they're going to get stuck. And I'm like, ooh. But now I see them doing it. I'm like, what if they get stuck?
They might.
What if, it's fine.
Have a goofy looking baby.
Yeah.
I'll make fun of them.
Yeah.
Winnie will make fun of him.
Yeah. Yeah, he'll be fine. I'm trying to figure out where I want to start my thing.
Oh, yeah. It's a story of Hudson.
The arrival.
We don't have any of the popping things.
Thank God.
Yeah.
I was saying earlier, but I'm so pleased with how much confetti is still in this room.
Well, those randomized. Did it say on the bottom pink or blue?
Yeah, it's specified.
Dude, then why didn't we save the blue ones for you and the pink ones for me?
Because I'm a short-sighted man.
I could just poke the ceiling. We can have some fall
That's
down.
true. Where's the broom? Is the broom near here?
There you go.
All right. I'm going to give a little tappy. All right, so I say something about the kid. Today's episode is about my son, Hudson.
There we go. Woo!
Not as dramatic as last time. So the wife has drilled into my head. It is not a membrane swab. It is a membrane sweep. That's it. She had gestational diabetes, and because of that, her doctor said she cannot go past her due date for some reason. It's just too high risk. And so one of the options, instead of getting induced, which she was very opposed to, was getting a membrane sweep.
Yep.
And so
What is that?
I don't know. I think there's just a little bit of a finger thing.
That sounds accurate.
That's what the doctor said to me when I asked him. You take my finger? But it's a way to induce labor naturally, I believe. And so I'm just out and about, like, shopping for baby stuff, I'm sure, that day. And the wife goes in, and maybe an hour later, she starts feeling things. And she just assumes, like, she's just getting closer to it. Like, nothing major is happening.
Wait, what day is this? What day?
Don't ask me dates. I have no idea.
Okay. Prior to having the baby, how far in advance was that? Wasn't it like the week before?
This was the day before.
Oh,
son.
okay.
Yeah. This timeline is right on there.
How far? That was the night before we got. That was the night we got induced, wasn't it? Or the day we got induced?
Yeah, within a 24-hour period.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So she gets the sweep, and then within a few hours, she's having what we didn't realize at the time were legitimate, hardcore contractions. I get home, her parents are there with her, and she's going, and she's sitting down, she's making noises, all that. And I'm like, are we having a baby today? And so I start timing it. Mm-hmm. It's, what is it? The duration and the distance.
Yeah, it's like 5 contractions a minute or something like that. Or it's a contraction that lasts longer than, I think it's a contraction that's a minute long.
I think it's serious when it's like it goes past 30 or 60 seconds every 2 minutes or something.
Yeah,
like,
we know everything.
Yeah, we know so much more now. We know less. At least I do. So I start counting the shit. I look up, I Google the thing, like, when do you gotta go? And I'm timing it. And she is far past it already. And she's like, no, we don't need to go because it's irregular. Like, it happens for 20 minutes and then it slows down a bit.
Yeah.
And so from that moment on, like, my paranoia just sits at 11 because she's having hardcore contractions. Everything they said apparently is bullshit. Like, I'm measuring it. It seems like she's in deep labor or something, and she refuses to do anything about it. So this, after all our conversations about pushing this off, was the time I decided, I think it's time for me to put it in the car seat.
Wait, you didn't put it in the car seat till that night? Holy shit.
The night before we had a baby, I was fumbling around. I was watching YouTube videos.
Holy shit. I thought you put it in like weeks prior.
No, it was the night before. I'm very proud.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it took me like 2 hours while my wife was having hardcore contractions.
I still can't get that thing. I swap it between my car and Grace's car.
Yeah.
Because we like taking the truck on the weekends. And
Yeah. You guys need another car seat, son.
Yeah, I know. But taking that thing and swapping it out, is
Yeah.
a bitch.
Yeah, it's rough.
Like taking that piece, you know how is it how it has the safety clips, and you have to tighten that motherfucker down.
Oh, so you're not using the seatbelt, you're hooking it.
Yeah, so it hooks into the safety or the what are they called, the anchors. Well, that strap that you tighten it down with, that button does not press. Like you have to.
Oh yeah, you
Dude.
have to get the tension right for that button to work.
That thing is a bitch. And
Yeah.
you put your knee on it until like because you're supposed to like push it into the seat so you can like it loosens it
It
up
can't
a little
move
bit.
more than 2 inches.
That thing
or
took me
whatever.
45 minutes to get out of her car. And
Yeah,
put it in
you
my
guys need
car.
another car
Yeah, it
seat.
sucks. But anyways, go on. Fuck that thing.
Just throw her in the bed. There's so much room in there. How would she? Yeah, it'll be fine. Where are we at? So the wife has been induced. No, she hasn't. Calm down, Austin. Contractions. Austin's freaking out. I'm writing the timing down on everything. She's acting like it's fine while she's making weird noises. I finally get the car seat installed. And then it's like 7 or 8 p.m. And she's like, I'm going to try to sleep. And I'm like, I doubt you will. So we hop in bed and she's still having her thing. Like they're hitting her a little more regular now, a little longer, far past what I'm comfortable with. But she refuses to go to the hospital. And so I say, here's the deal. I'm going to take a long, long shower. And when I get out of that shower, we're going to measure again. If it is any worse, we are leaving. She's like, fine.
It's like the episode of The Office where Pam and Jim are having their baby, and he's like, "Let's fucking
Happens
go,"
far.
and she's like,
Yeah.
No.
A little bit of denial there. I think there's a little bit of that with the wife. Yeah, but so we make that agreement. I take a long shower. I get into bed, and I'm like, let's do it. And so I start counting, and it is twice as bad as it was before.
God.
So she's having like 2-minute contractions every minute.
I don't even think Grace had like a full-on contraction until
Really?
we got to the hospital, and they started, like they gave her that, I don't know what the damn medicine's called again. I know we looked it up last time, but they gave her that medicine. And that's like the first contraction she really had.
Okay.
But she had like small contractions, like the Braxton Hicks ones, whatever it was. Mm-hmm. But anyways, go on.
Yeah, so I think we laid in bed for 2 hours while I was measuring across all this. And she's hurting. Like, she's still able to talk. She's still able to walk, which apparently are signs that, like, it's not that bad. And after a while, she's just miserable. And so I'm like, we're leaving. I'm done. We're going. I don't care. And so we get into the car, and it gets a little rougher in the car for some reason. I think the bouncing, makes it worse. She's struggling to stabilize. And we get there, and we land in triage, right? The little place before the place.
How, when you say she was uncomfortable, was she like mad or like yelling, or was she just like, oh?
She was in pain, and anger would only come when I talked too much. I don't know if it was comfortable.
You're leaving
to you.
out the specific details.
Yeah. I learned very quickly, like, when was an appropriate time for me to speak and when was the time for me to shut up. She taught me quick. Because, like, the amount of pain, she's said since that it is easily the worst pain she's ever been through. Not the birth.
The contractions.
The contractions. Yeah, that night was the worst pain she said she's ever felt. And so we get to the hospital for the first time, mind you, of the night.
Mm-hmm.
And we sign a bunch of paperwork, which she loves. Like, she's in so much pain. She's done this before where she cut her finger open. And, like, for, like, an hour before they're willing to treat her, they're like, fill out this paperwork. Have you been to Hawaii in the past 6 months? All this bull crap.
Oh, my gosh.
Treat my woman.
Did you guys not do pre-registration?
We did. And they still have all these questions.
I don't remember filling out any paperwork.
Oh, really? Yeah, there was a lot.
I feel like maybe because we were a scheduled induction, they just brought us directly in
ours
there.
wasn't scheduled.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, moment of truth. We're sitting there in triage, and the nurse is taking a look at her, and we're like, how many centimeters is she? And she's like, you are 1 centimeter dilated. Oh, fuck. And we died. We died inside. Oh, man. That was really, really hard to hear.
Well, at that point,
Yeah.
my mom was texting me
Yeah.
saying, "Wait, that was the night that we were there, right?"
Yeah, you guys got there 40 minutes before us.
So you texted me saying we're on our way to the hospital, and I was like, "Oh," telling Grace like they're on their way. Okay, and so that night you text me saying they're making us leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the 1 centimeter thing happens. It's like, I think they gave us the option to stay, but the doctor was like, you're not going into active labor.
Yeah.
Like, there's no need for you to be here. And that was hard to see. Ooh. Ooh. I'm not even going to cut that. The wife felt very embarrassed because the contractions were incredibly hard until she got to the hospital. Yeah. And then it's like nothing was happening.
Oh my gosh.
And so, yeah, she felt really silly psychologically. Like, I'm sure I have the same thing when I have to poop, you know? You don't get that way where you're like, you're away from a bathroom, you're too far away, so that's when you need a poop.
Yeah.
And then you get to the bathroom and it's fine. Too many analogies to something that does not equate.
Comparing you need to drop in a deuce.
Every experience is one's own, all right? The worst thing you've ever felt is the worst thing you've ever felt.
God, your wife's going to listen to this and be like, that's accurate.
Poops are pregnancies. T-shirt material. So we go home in shame. I am sorry that she had to go because I made her, but I would not have been able to calm down if we hadn't gone.
Oh, I would have went.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't regret it at all. I feel bad that I made her go, but I do not regret it. And so after that, we get home and it only gets worse, like way, way worse. She tries laying in the bed at first, and that quickly ends with her sitting on her yoga ball beside the bed, just trying to get comfortable, and she can't. And I think it was like a 6-hour period from when we got back. I think we got home at like 11, and she just stayed on that yoga ball for like 7 hours.
Holy shit.
And yeah, so it went from like just trying to breathe to like sweating and breaking down and crying. And like she'd fall asleep on the ball and then wake up, like catch herself and all that. And it was hard, dude. Like for me, like I thought the birth was going to be what I had to be there for her. She did not need me for the birth. Like she needed me for the labor part. All those contractions. Like I tried to get her in a bath at one point that helped for 20 minutes. And then it got really bad again. So yeah, I'd say that was the longest night of my life, because watching, someone you love in pain isn't fun. And then the sleeplessness, like that was the first time in this experience where like the sleeplessness was like, here we go. Right. This is all it is now. So even then I'm arguing with her. I'm like, let's go there. She's like, my doctor is not in until 8:00. So I will not go until 8:00. Oh, and I'm like, trying to figure this out. I'm like, if we start getting ready at 6, then we're leaving by 6:30. It'll take us 30 minutes to get there, and then it'll take an hour to get checked back in. So that's 8:00. So I'm like negotiating backwards as best I can. Cause she's hard-headed in that everything's going to be fine. And I'm hard-headed that everything is going to be terrible. And so we met in the middle. And I think that's the beauty of our relationship in a lot of ways. Like she's a realist, and I'm naive. And then sometimes we flip and all that. But we're back in the car, and she is miserable. Like worst she's ever experienced. She's turning on music to try to like focus away from the pain of it. And I've never driven that slow and that fast. Like I don't even know how to explain that. Like on the straightaways, like speed on a corner, just real gentle, trying to like not rock the boat and all that. But my awareness was like up to 11. I'm just trying to do any little thing that I can to make this slightly less painful for her, including my own voice. I'm like, my voice is like this bouncing car right now. Like, calm it down. And so we get back, and the trepidation of being at that hospital again, of the notion of it being like, what if this is not the last time that we're arriving at this hospital again?
Holy shit.
Because she said at a certain point, she's like, if this is going to be like this anymore, I will not be able to handle like the birth. Because from that point, that was when she started entertaining the notion of getting a back thingy.
Epidural.
An epidural. Thank you. But before that, she would never, ever even consider it. She wanted to go all natural, and that night convinced her otherwise.
As I said, threw her out the fucking window.
Yeah. So we get back in triage. We're hanging out with a new nurse. We're filling out new paperwork. It's great. And she's like, let's measure you. And she checks, and she says 5 centimeters. And the wife and I just start bawling. We start bawling, dude. The relief of that, of like, they're not going to kick us out again. We don't have to sit in bed and look, and just watch her suffer. She's like, let's go get you guys set up. And so they walk out. The wife and I are hugging. We're bawling our eyeballs out. We're going to have a baby. Oh, man.
Woo.
Woo.
Wait, what time was that? You guys got there at 8?
I don't know. And she was on drugs the whole time. Like, she had something else.
Because we were in our room. I think my mom texted me around 9.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, you guys got into your room probably around 9 or 8:30 or 9, whenever, because you saw me.
I think we just got to accept that these timelines are gone.
Around the same time, because Grace was getting the epidural while you guys were going into your room.
Okay.
Because you saw me getting carried.
Yeah. Yeah, so we get there. I was so stoked about the room. Like, personally, like, I was like, this is awesome.
Was that the first time you saw it?
Yeah, because we'd gone to a different hospital for the class. Yeah. And that one was fine, but I was very pleased. It was like walking into a nice hotel room, like, in my mind. I was like, this is a great place to have a baby.
That they showed us where the little snack area was. They showed us your room, like where you'd be laying and sleep, or where she would be laying, and like the room itself. But yeah, super sick.
Yeah, I saw the little couch. I'm like, that looks fairly comfortable. That's where I live now.
It actually was pretty comfortable.
It wasn't bad. I refused to use the pillow thing the first night, and I didn't sleep like the back bit.
Oh, dude, I pulled that thing. I put my sheets on it.
Yeah.
I wrapped. Oh,
I never sheeted it. I just raw dogged that shit. Yeah. Germs, please. More for me. And so we get in there. At this point, she needs something for the pain. And so they put her on some kind of loopy medicine. I don't know what it was.
Yeah, no
but
idea.
it was beautiful because...
Was it morphine?
No, it wasn't morphine. It was sleepy, and she was very docile. So getting medicine in her was awesome because she was struggling to like focus, like with the amount of pain that she was in. And so from that point on, like, it's weird, but it was smooth sailing. It was fun. Like, I enjoyed like talking to her. She was like all just like half out of it, just hanging out, good sense of humor going, talking to the nurses, asking questions. She gets situated, and I don't know if 20 minutes pass or 8 hours pass, but at a certain point, the doctor comes in and is like, "Are you ready to have a baby?" And those words,
wait,
dude.
when you guys got there, how long did it take to get the epidural?
Dude.
You walk into the room.
Yeah.
How much time passed?
I have no idea. I'm not going to be able to answer any of these
How
questions.
soon before the baby was born?
A fortnight between Twixt and Shanty.
Okay.
So I'm so sorry. I got nothing. I really don't. The fact that I remember any of this is incredible.
Wait, so did her water break at your guys' house?
No, they broke it.
Okay. Yeah,
they
then my
broke
mom
it.
got that story completely jacked up.
All right.
She's like, her water broke and they're on their way to the hospital. I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah, her water didn't break. So our doctor's like, let's do this. And the nurses come in. A few students came in. I don't know how it was for you guys. You just might not have known, but like one or two of those women were actually students. And they get the stirrups up. and this was like feeling real. I realized like my time
Dude.
to be a part of this was gone. Like I'm here to support, but like
in that second where they're like, "You're at 10, let's go." Whenever we were in there, she was like, "You're at 10," and she literally just flipped those things up. She's like, "Put your legs up." I'm like, "Whoa, what the fuck?"
yeah, this is moving too fast. Yeah. But that was a beautiful moment for me, like when they started that process, because I was like, I can finally set her down, you know.
Just
Up
lock
until
in.
then, like it's me taking care of her and her taking care of herself. Now we have a team.
Yeah.
Oh man, I love that notion of the hospital of like there's a person for every need.
Oh yeah.
And so the birth itself, I think you guys were 40 something minutes, right? 40-ish.
We had her at 120.
Yeah.
I don't honestly know when.
Whatever it was, we were half it. Or do I have that flipped? You guys were a lot quicker than us. So we were, yeah. So we took 40-ish minutes if you took 20 minutes. But that whole process, like even for the wife, was like the lack of pain was beautiful. Like it was a struggle for her, you know, because they're doing their little crunch cannonball things.
Dude, that was the weirdest part?
It was weird at first.
Like when her legs were up and the belly was like here, and she's just pushing down. You're just like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one of the nurses is looking at the computer screen to know when to tell her to kick. But the wife...
To kick or to push?
You guys were pushing? Weird. The wife started picking up on it, even though she had the epidural in. Like she could get a general sense of
It's like
when
they kept
she
saying the
needed to.
pressure. Mm-hmm. It wasn't pain; it was pressure.
Yeah.
I'm assuming the pressure is contractions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess I skipped the epidural. They put me in front of her, and it was nothing. She didn't feel nothing, which is wild.
Yeah.
Like she didn't jump around. Like it just went in, went out. It was great. The birth was so easy. I don't want to speak for her, but for me, it was awesome. I had her mama to my right.
Oh, so her mom was in there?
Yeah. So it was me and the mama and all the other helpers. I wanted to be by the head, and her mama got to be by the legs, and that's my
Did you
perfect
look?
world. Slow down. Yes. I did. After all this time, montage of us arguing about the look.
Did you peep or did you look?
So the doctor asked her, "Do you want to see his head?" And Andy's like, "I can do that." He's like, "Yeah, just lean forward." And she leans forward, and while she's leaning forward, I'm like, I still don't know if I
What I
regret
saw?
it. I haven't sorted that out. But what a wild thing, dude. Like, there's a big belly, you know there's a baby in there, but then there's the freaking head. It's like, oh my gosh, that's a real baby right there.
Whenever I looked, it was like I had tunnel vision, if that makes any sense.
It does.
Like I didn't, because like my biggest fear, I guess, when looking was like seeing everything, like women and when they go in there, there's potential of them shitting all over the place, tearing and all that stuff.
Yeah.
My eyes locked in
Yeah.
to like the hair on her head, and that's all I saw. I didn't see anything else. I guess my
telling yourself
mind
that.
didn't pick anything else up.
Yeah.
It was weird. But I was like this. Whoop. Okay, good. The doctor
was
was
your
like,
phone.
sounds good. And then they kept pushing.
They pushed for a bit more, and then suddenly,
Wait, so how far out was the head when she looked?
like a quarter, like
How the hell-
just the little cap.
Then how the hell did she see that?
I don't know.
She's a belly.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say they were going to put a mirror or something.
No, just look.
Damn.
Yeah. I mean,
Before she started pushing, did they have her use the ball at all?
what,
the
the
peanut?
peanut? Yeah,
Like, have her, like,
she
turn
had her
over?
peanut. She had no recollection of the peanut. She was
Really?
complaining. She was like, "I wanted the peanut." I'm like, "You got the peanut."
Because they had Grace sit on the peanut on both sides.
Yeah.
And then right before she started pushing, they had her chair leaned completely straight.
Oh, interesting.
So it was like she was sitting like this.
Yeah.
And then her legs were still out or something like that. I don't know. And then that's when they were like, all right, you're good. And that's when they leaned her back and then legs up. Weird.
Yeah, I don't think we had that part. Dude, I thought he was going to come out like screaming and freaking out. The homie was silent. Like I see the bloody little dude. I see the umbilical cord dangling. And I'm like, that's my kid. He's right there. And he's just like closing his eyes. And oh man, what a moment, dude.
Yeah, it's
Like,
wild.
And it blew my mind how surprised I was. Like, not like, wow, this is a great moment. Like, is this real? Like, is this actually happening? Like, I was shocked that there was a baby there. Like, I'd been doing this thing with my wife for 9 months. I knew it was coming. And then I saw him and I'm like, what is happening? Who is this? It was a wild, wild moment. And so they clean him up and they throw him on her chest.
And you're just like this.
I'm just trying to soak it in as much as I can, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure like my face was like pressed up like 2 inches from him, just trying to like soak in his features and all that. Seeing his eyeballs for the first time was it's so cool.
It's like when she came out, I wasn't even like emotionally like crying like out of sadness, but like tears were just coming out of my eyes, and I was just like happy.
Yeah.
And like she
You
looked like a
made that.
little flippin' alien, man. Because you're waiting 9 months and you finally see her. You're just
Yeah.
like, the ultrasounds, they look just like her.
Yeah.
That was the weird part.
Yeah. Yeah. Everything, all the suspicions, all the worries and all that. Suddenly it's just manifested as
I think
a
it's
real
the
baby.
health thing. Like everybody is, the worry is not, will the baby come out? It's like, is everything healthy? Is everything good?
Yeah.
That anxiety was just like this, gone.
Yeah. I've
my
already
gosh.
forgotten how much time I spent during the pregnancy freaking out
But
about
just
that
worrying.
stuff.
Oh my gosh.
And yet somehow we both have perfectly healthy kids, despite the jaundice.
Despite the jaundice.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. So I pulled out my phone, or I pulled out the wife's phone. I don't have a phone, and I played his favorite song from the womb. Like every other song we played in the womb, he'd kick like 5 or 6 times. With the song "Knock 3 Times," he kicked 26 times.
Oh my gosh.
He loved that song, and so I was like, "This is the first song he needs to hear, like out in the world." And he starts dancing. He looks. No, he doesn't. He doesn't react at all. But
I was
it
like,
was yeah, it was a really perfect moment. I was so happy that like the wife got to be numb at that point so that she could just take it in. Albeit she was exhausted.
Yeah.
But when that kid came out, like she perked up.
Did they let you cut the umbilical cord, like the little
Yeah,
inch or whatever,
Yeah, well, no, I cut it.
while it was attached?
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. So the doctor handed me the thing, and I remember you telling me about that.
It was like squishy.
I thought it was going to be a clean snip.
No, you have to like slide it back.
It was a little awkward. He's like, "You want to cut?" I'm like, "Yeah," and it's like 2 hours later.
It's like you had to like go back, like slice it. I don't know. It was weird.
I needed a different device. Yeah, that didn't make me too nervous. I was worried that I was going to get squeamish, but it was fine. And yeah, so she's holding the baby. Baby instantly is like, "Where's the boob?" Like,
Dude, yeah.
just searching the head, throwing it all
like
around.
trying to attach.
Yeah. Which is weird. It's just weird that there are all these built-in instincts. Just the first time, just where's the titty? Which I see with dudes, but
So she was trying to attach to B, whatever I was doing skin to skin.
he does it every day.
Dude, on my chest, and she was like, one down. I'm like, there's nothing down there. So even if you wanted
got
it,
me wrong,
my nipples
see?
are too small. You wouldn't be able to find it.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, so they do skin to skin. It's awesome. I'm just like soaking it in. At a certain point, someone is like, "You ready to hold him?" And for me, I had an incredible amount of fear about holding the kid. Like I was mortified. And so I said, as long as like I'm positioned where I don't have to move an inch, it's fine. And so they put him in my arms, like just feeling his weight for the first time, his little hands and all that. And it was as scary as it was perfect, because I was just so scared to break him.
Oh, I know. Oh my gosh.
So small. Yeah, just that first moment, it's just like holding him and looking at him and knowing that you made it and this is the rest of your
the
life.
roller coaster's over.
Yeah.
But not really.
It's not, but it's like you were saying, it's nice that the worry of
Part one
how
is
is it
done.
going to turn out.
Yeah, part one's done.
Yeah. So holding him was cool. And then started the blurriness of the hospital days, which like were awesome and hard. I didn't sleep the first night, period.
Yeah.
My head was just, I don't know what I'm doing. And it progressively got to the point where I'm like, I should not have had a baby. So that, for me, like, the sleeplessness and the anxiety about actually interacting with him, like, over maybe 15 hours, like, I got to a point where I'm like, I shouldn't have done this. Like,
What?
fight or flight, kind of like, I messed up.
Oh my god.
And it didn't get to a point where, like, I was going to, like, walk away. But it did get to a point where I'm like, this was wrong of me. You know, it was that bad in my head where I knew that I should not have brought this kid into the world. Cut to like 2 hours later, I get a nap and I'm like, this is great. I'm ready to be a dad. Oh man. But that time span sucked, bro. Like I felt like a failure and I was never going to be able to, you know, live up to what I needed to do for him. And then I got a nap and everything was fine.
See, that was like me. I didn't think that, but
Yeah.
like, dude, from 8 p.m. until 2 a.m. when we were figuring out the whole jaundice thing, I was staring at her for, what is that, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 6 hours straight. Like, I would get up to go and, like, grab, like, a paper towel.
Yeah.
But it was like this. Because she would start crying. I'm like, you need anything?
Yeah. You're on high alert mode for every little noise and movement.
How did you feel about, like, family and stuff? Like, were you... Like,
I'm gonna try to be measured, but fuck those people.
because we had Grace's family come in, my family came in, everybody was like excited, and Grace was chill about it. Like Grace is very open, because her birth was. It's funny to me because we talked about it on like all these episodes leading up to it, but like I was so worried about the labor portion that ended up being like the easiest fucking part.
Who would have thought?
The easiest part.
Yeah.
And then obviously the after part was terrible, but like that portion was so easy, and I was like, this is too good to be true.
Yeah.
Like, this is way
I'm
too.
still waiting.
Because I'm only saying it was easy because Grace literally told me she would rather have food poisoning, or she would rather give birth again than have food poisoning.
That's wild.
She was like, it was completely fine.
We're so lucky in that way.
I
Our
was like,
wives
holy
are so lucky in that way.
shit.
Yeah.
Well, sorry.
You're good.
Your wife, after the epidural and everything, was she walking around and stuff, or?
No. And you said that your wife had, like, quote, the perfect epidural.
That's what we were told.
Yeah,
You're saying that's
you
what
guys
we were
had
told.
working like my wife could not get up. She couldn't lift the leg. Yeah. So it took her hours and hours and hours to do anything. Like me and a nurse had to.
That's what freaked me out though, is Grace was moving her legs.
Yeah.
And I was like, is she gonna be okay? Is she gonna feel anything?
Yeah,
because I was like, did the epidural work? Because the doctor was like, all right, try lifting your right foot, and she went, whoop, like her whole leg up.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
just like,
wild. From our perspective, that's wild.
holy shit! And then obviously the baby came out, and she said she didn't feel anything. Mm-hmm. And then after the baby came out, she was like, I need to go up use the restroom.
Yeah.
Nurse walked her over to the bathroom. She walked back, laid in bed.
Yeah.
So what the fuck?
It should not be this easy. What is going
You're
on?
so much stronger than me. I knew she was gonna be good though.
Yeah.
Because whenever I got my tattoos and stuff, she went to get her tattoo. I'm like, Grace, that spot of the arm, because she got on like the backside. I was like, that hurts like so bad. And she's like, okay, I'm ready. She gets down there and she's like, I don't feel anything. And like the dude's shatting.
Oh man, he was shatting everywhere.
He's shading the back of her arm, and she's not even flinching, like not even making a face.
Pretty badass.
So I'm like, okay, she's gonna be good.
Yeah.
So there's no surprise.
Yeah.
She's awesome.
The family coming in, I had to put aside like my own like social issues. Like that's a moment where in a perfect world it would have been me and the wife,
Yeah.
and that's it. And so I kind of set the precedent where we do kind of like a one-on-one thing instead of like groups
Everybody,
of families.
yeah.
And that was awesome. Like getting to see each of those people see my baby for the first time, their grandkid, their nephew, and all that. That was wild in itself because that's just a different version of what I got to experience with the kid for the first time. Like they're getting to see this man who's now like
You can
a part
book a
of our lives.
one-on-one.
Yeah.
Schedule it on your app.
Yeah. As the days went, people got more comfortable and people started coming in droves, and I started getting real bitchy. I tried to keep it to myself, but like I started like just looking at my computer and doing things on the side. Like I got so much to, I got nowhere to be, but I tried to look busy. And I really wanted as much time with the wife and the kid as I could get in there. But that's tradition. That's what you do. You got to show them off. You got to let everybody experience them. That's how it goes. And yeah, I acclimated to it. It was fun seeing my parents, her parents, feeling.
Oh, dude, their reactions.
Yeah,
is
being
like priceless.
grandparents. My parents being grandparents.
Dude, my dad, like my mom and like her parents are very excited, but my dad was like, he comes over every week. Like he's here all the time.
Yeah.
Or we go over there all the time too.
Yeah.
But he was like ecstatic, which is awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
And my sister, oh my gosh, dude. I get a text from her pretty much. She's on a trip right now, but pretty much daily.
Yeah, it's kind of reshaping my relationships.
Yeah,
a little
100%.
bit. Yeah.
I talked to Taylor when I was in Tucson. I would text her like every 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. Now I text her every single day.
Nice.
Not now because she's on a trip, but like during the week, every single day.
Yeah. Yeah, it's altering.
For the first 2 weeks, I would get a message from Taylor first, and then my dad saying, "Send me a picture. How's the baby? How's she doing today?"
Yeah.
She's good, but yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
They came in droves though. They did the exact opposite of what you wanted. Like whenever my parents came, because my parents were in the hospital when your parents were there. Mm-hmm. So it was Taylor, Austin, both my parents, and they all came in the room at the same time.
Wee.
And I was like, "Pass her around, let's go."
That's wild. My head was like, he's going to get sick and it's going to be bad and he's never going to sleep again.
Yeah,
Still no sickness.
no sickness.
No, nothing for you guys. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's awesome.
The only thing that freaked me out is what I actually talked to Bobby about it, and I think we've talked about it before too. But like they don't prep you for like the spit up of like the afterbirth, and so they're like, "Hey, if she gets any spit in her mouth, just like suck it out with this thing." Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking, okay, when we feed her, she's gonna have a spit up. Mm-hmm. They don't tell you about the afterbirth that comes out of their lungs, and it's like brown and there's a little bit of clear and there's brown and there's crap in this.
I never saw that.
It's like yellow, brown, and clear.
Yeah.
And she just went all over the bed. And this is at like, 11 o'clock at night?
Yeah.
During this whole jaundice thing. So I'm like sucking this shit. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm freaking the hell out. And Grace's like, it's normal. It's fine. I'm like, what do you mean it's normal? This is not normal.
Yeah.
And so I think, again, when we have our second kid, I'm going to be completely cool.
Nothing will phase us.
Because that's normal, but they don't tell you that's normal.
Yeah.
They say it's spit up. They don't say it's fucking brown and green liquid coming out of their freaking mouth, dude.
Yeah. The second kid's going to be a walk in the park.
Oh, yeah. But
yeah, the family stuff was cool, seeing everybody experiencing that. We loved the food. Good hospital food. It was fine.
I didn't get to experience that. I never got my damn last meal.
Yeah. It wasn't that great. The
celebration
other meals were
meal.
great. The last meal kind of sucked. We had a killer set of nurses. The doctor was amazing. The lactation specialist was killer.
Oh, they were really nice. And they were really good.
Yeah. There was a diversity of opinion where like one nurse would say one thing and then the other nurse would be like, that is totally incorrect. You need to do this. Yeah. And at the time that was kind of confusing, but it was nice having different perspectives.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it teaches you that like there are an infinite amount of ways to deal with this.
Nobody knows what they're doing.
Nobody. Yeah. Yeah. Our parents did it a totally different way and we're going to do it a totally different way and it's all fine. I savored like every extra day we got in the hospital, even though we had the jaundice thing. And I don't feel like I'll go too much into the jaundice because I think we got like the taste of, the worst of it through your guys'
fucking
experience.
4-course meal in jaundice.
Yeah. But just being able to press a button and puke out all my stupid concerns, like baby's eyes haven't been open in 20 minutes. Is he good? Like me just going crazy. It was so cool having just this massive team of people that are just dedicated to keeping that kid okay.
Dude, I don't know if they even had a button at NICU. But at least I didn't know about it, or else I would have fucking been pressing that thing. I'm glad they honestly didn't, because they'd be in there all the time.
Yeah, I used it constantly. We learned that breastfeeding was pretty much the only thing that worked because we were using Similac, like some formula on him, and he'd spit it up every single time within like 2 minutes. They gave us some like sensitive formula, and he spit that up. But that's cool because like the wife really wanted to breastfeed exclusively as much as she could.
Mm-hmm.
So
at Children's, they like didn't offer us Similac.
Oh, really?
Well, they might have said like, "Hey, are you guys doing breastfeeding or Similac?" But I'm pretty sure they had a milk bank, and so all donated milk.
Okay.
And so,
well, that's a lot more important with your
yeah.
guys' setup.
Yeah, and so they were like, "Hey, we have a milk bank. Are you guys doing natural? Or are you guys okay? Or do you want to use formula?" And we're like, "We'll use the milk bank," which was kind of weird at first.
Yeah.
I'm like, "Can our baby drink another?"
Can I
woman's-"
review these titties?
Well, it's like,
Can I see pictures
do
of
that?
the titties?
But apparently, it's like ultra filtered.
Why are you ignoring my bit?
But apparently, it's ultra filtered, and I think that honestly, like, what bit? What is the bit?
I don't like. I need to know the quality of this milk
Yeah,
by reviewing.
show me these titties.
Sorry. All right. Say good things.
Damn it.
Tiggle bitties.
But yeah, so like when Grace was breastfeeding though, she would pump, and then I'd have to take it to the milk bank.
Tell me about that.
So like whenever she would pump,
Yeah.
I had to put it in this little baggie or a little tube, write a label like when it was pumped, what time, and then
Yeah.
they had a little office space, not office, it was like it looked like a drive-through window.
Yeah.
But I'd walk over there, give them the baggie, and they'd store it for us. And so we left the hospital. They gave us like 4 bags of her milk that we didn't use.
Okay, that's cool.
But they had the nurse though. Whenever she came in, we would use the donor milk, and then once we were able to, we use hers. I don't fucking know honestly how it worked, but it was cool. I think that helped us a lot.
Yeah.
And they also put us on a schedule, like feeding wise,
Yeah.
because those nurses walked in that room every 3 hours, sleeping or not.
Yep.
They'd wake. I felt bad for Grace because they make her wake up.
Yeah.
Me, not so much.
Sleep through anything. Yeah, I got better and better at sleeping. It was nice. And I got to a point, bad father right here. I just whispered to one of the nurses in the middle of the night. I'm like, "Can you take him? Can you take him from us?" She's like, "Yeah, I can hang out with him in the nursery for a few hours." And I was expecting like 20 minutes. I'm like, "Jesus, thank you so much." And it was amazing. I was like, "Can you lose my child for a minute?"
Oh my god.
And so me and the wife got killer sleep. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, I'd never been more happy to push my child on a stranger. It was awesome.
Like I feel bad for sleeping when we were in the hospital,
Do you?
because I'm like, Grace has to wake up. I should be waking up too.
Yeah.
But like the more I think about it, I'm like, what would I do
Yeah.
when I'm there? Like we had
Yeah.
a nurse who brought the milk in, and the nurse was gonna feed the baby for us if we wanted her to. I think that towards the end they kind of got like, they gave us that notion of like, you guys need to be the one feeding her.
Yeah.
And so towards the end they would start leaving it for us and we would do it, which I'm completely fine with. But like before that, I'm like, I can't breastfeed or pump. I'm obviously not the
You
one.
think you can't, but
I could have tried.
yeah.
But
You said 10% of men can lactate.
But like, so Grace would wake up and she'd pump and feed the baby and then go back to bed. And I'd most of the time I'd wake up a little bit, but I'd sleep through it.
Yeah. Well,
So
I mean,
it's
there's
like-
a time for her to deal with it, and then like maybe that's the balance of the two people. You know, like
Yeah.
there are points where she can be sleeping and you can be chilling with.
But even like now, Grace will wake up and because she's like, we're kind of co-sleeping. Like she tries to sleep in the bassinet, but she like will not sleep in that thing. I think Grace said most of the time she'll sleep until like, we'll put her down at like 10 and she'll wake up at 12.
Yeah.
Because she's used to eating at 12.
Yeah.
So she'll wake up at 12 and then Grace will lay her down again. She will not sleep in that bassinet. Like she'll scream crying and I wake up to it.
Yeah.
And so Grace will put her on the bed, but like have her arm like this. And dude, she sleeps instantly. And she won't wait. She'll sleep, what, 3 hours, 4 hours?
The bassinet is hard, and I get why it's hard because it's like a lack of sensation. Like when you're holding the kid, there's constant movement, there's warmth.
Well, the biggest thing is this damn fucking safe sleep thing, because Grace follows those rules. Hey,
Yeah.
we can't.
We're the exact same way.
We can't lay in the. She can't have any pillows or blankets in there because safe sleep. I'm like, okay. And I was like, well, what if we wrapped her in a swaddle in that same type of thing we used at
Baby
the NICU?
can choke on the swaddle.
Well, it's like, well, at the NICU they had her in like this oval pillow, and you could swaddle her around the pillow, so
Yeah.
she was like this, and her head had support, so it made her feel comforted. Grace like, nope.
Yeah.
I'm like,
following rules.
can you imagine you're laying on a flipping hard ass surface and like
For hours.
like this firm swaddled, and she was like,
At least I'm safe.
it's like, no, like what the fuck? Like, no, she needs something. I'm like,
I am a big rule follower though, because I'm like, as long as the kid stays alive, he can be cold, he can be miserable.
yeah,
You know.
I can't do it, man.
Yeah.
And she, when she does sleep in that thing, like I come in the bed, Grace will usually like walk in the bedroom around like 9:30, and she'll like change her real quick and feed her, and then she'll pump, and then she'll fall asleep. But like by the time I get in there, Grace is on her phone, and the baby's in like either in her arm, and then whenever I come in, she puts her in the bassinet. But like she'll be sleeping in the bassinet, but she still makes noises
Constantly.
It's like a ah.
Yeah.
And you're just like, Grace, is she good?
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, she's
Is
fine.
that a death noise or a happy noise or a hungry noise?
Now I can sleep through it, but I think it's so funny.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
I go to the store. I'm shopping. I hear a squeak, and I
Yeah.
think it's Huddy.
Yeah.
I'm driving in the car. Like, the car makes a noise. I think it's a fart. You
Yeah.
know, like, I hear that kid everywhere
It's
I
like
go.
when I'm at work, dude.
Yeah.
Because there's constantly shit going on, and I
Yeah.
constantly am turning like this, like, oh my gosh, with
Yeah.
the baby. Like, I'm at work.
Yeah, I'm still definitely on high alert. Like, we're doing shifts, and inevitably halfway through my shift, I wake up and I'm looking through the sheets because I think I've taken him to the bed with me accidentally, but he's on the other side of the house with the wife. And I don't know if I said this last week, but I have started sleepwalking.
You haven't said it on the podcast.
Oh, no? Okay. Yeah. So I think it was the first week where it's my shift to sleep and she's in the other side of the house and I'm sleeping real good. It's a good time. And then I wake up and I'm standing in front of my wife and my baby. And she's like, go to bed, Austin. And apparently I'm like, I would love to. And my wife is like, why don't you? And I'm like, I'm waiting. And so, like, I guess I was just like waiting on my shift, but it was so weird just waking up where you didn't plan to be and all that. I haven't slept walked since, which is really nice because it would be scary for that to continue to be a thing. Like, I feel really bad for like insomniacs and all that because like that's some people's life. Like, some people go out of their house and like walk around, you know? I think it was Kevin James. He was on some sort of like sleeping medication and he woke up in the middle of the night and thought somebody had came in and robbed him because he saw that somebody had made breakfast. So he was so sleepy that he forgot that he went down and made some food and all that. But yeah, sleep deprivation has been real interesting during this.
Have you had any times where you feel like you're not doing enough?
Yes. Constantly.
I ask Grace all the time. I'm like, am I doing enough? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm not doing enough for you, like
Yeah.
for you and the baby.
Yeah.
And then she's like, no, everything's fine. I'm like, I can't like wrap my head around it though. Cause I'm not the one who's like breastfeeding her, obviously. Cause Grace does, we started in the hospital. They made us use a bottle and then they let us switch to where we could breastfeed for 15 minutes and then use the bottle for 30 minutes the bottle for 20 minutes. Grace would breastfeed for 10, something like that, around that range. But at that time, we were like, we don't know if she's getting enough. Like, we freaked out. We're like, is she getting enough food?
Yeah.
And then...
Yeah, that's hard when you can't actually visualize it.
Well, so now we've learned she's going to breastfeed, and then after she breastfeeds, she'll pump. And it's a significant difference. If she breastfeeds, you can tell, like, she's not... what she pumps is, like, nothing.
I see what you mean.
And so now we know she's getting food. But I can't feed her if she's breastfeeding. In the middle of the night when the baby's crying, it's easier for Grace to wake up and just put her there.
Yeah.
And so at nighttime, I will wake up and make sure the baby's good if she's crying, like screaming.
Yeah.
But like the other night, she woke up and she's like, hey, Andy, watch her for a second. I'm going to go heat up a bottle. And so I'm like sitting there laying and just like rubbing her stomach and she's screaming, crying. I'm just like, it's okay.
Yeah.
But like at nighttime, Grace, like I've asked her multiple times, hey, do you need me to get up and do this? And she's like, no.
Yeah.
So I feel like I should be, but like at the same time, she's like doing it.
Yeah. I think the only thing that like I can proactively do is like change a diaper.
Yeah.
Like anytime, like even if I haven't heard him explode, I'm
But
just
that's
like, I'm
the
just
thing.
going to do
Grace does that in our bed.
that. Yeah.
So we have a sheet. It's like a baby mat thing. She literally baby will be in the bassinet,
Yeah.
crying. Grace will literally grab it, all her like the supplies are right next to our bed.
Yeah.
She'll wake up, slap that thing, and change the baby within 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And then is feeding her. And by the time I wake up, she's like, "Oh, everything's good. We're good."
Yeah. It's just a totally different setup for us, you know? And that's, I don't think like it's worth starting to dive into it tonight too much, but like you and I, like we're both dads, but we're both going into two different versions of dadhood.
Yeah.
Cause yeah, I just turned in my 2 weeks a week ago.
Yeah.
Which is pretty wild.
How do you actually no? Since you guys are doing shifts,
Mm-hmm.
so that's the difference between you and I right now. Is you're doing shifts every 3 hours. Whenever Grace leaves for like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, I'm like, if she starts crying,
What do I do?
I know she's hungry and she wants to breastfeed.
Yeah.
So I'm like, Grace, where are you?
Yeah, where are the bottles? Why, like, you guys have all this breast milk saved in the fridge. Why,
Yeah.
why isn't any of it in a bottle?
So breast milk in the freezer lasts 6 months. As soon as you put it in the fridge, or once you warm it up, it lasts. And you put it back in the fridge, I think it only lasts like 4 hours. So we keep it in the freezer, and then if she needs a bottle, we'll take a pack out. Well, that's the thing is, for the most part right now, she feeds off of breast milk.
Yeah.
Or off Grace. And so whenever Grace breastfeeds her, right after she's done, she'll put the pumps on and then pump out like another flipping bag of breast milk. And so we usually leave that in the fridge, and then if she's still hungry, I'll pour it into a bottle and then heat it up real quick.
Yeah.
But she's breastfeeding for the most part. Like 90% of the time she's breastfeeding. Like if we're going to my parents' house, we'll warm up a bag of it and just have it in case like her breast milk's not enough.
That's so interesting because
She's a heavy producer.
yeah.
Like that's like
And yet the bottle thing isn't a thing. So that's what I'm confused about, because you guys are worried about like how much she's getting via the breast, but you're putting out a lot more milk than we are. But we exclusively do bottles. So anytime that dude's hungry, I just grab a bottle.
So
and so I feel like you guys.
So whenever she's hungry, Grace right there.
Yeah.
Like we barely, not barely, but I'd say like it's like 80-20 bottles breastfeeding.
That's crazy.
Which is awesome because it's like a natural thing. They like to be attached and all that stuff. So, but I feel bad for Grace though because it hurts. She's like, they don't tell you about this whenever you get pregnant.
Has she gone to a lactation consultant since?
Yeah, we went to one at wherever our pediatrician office is.
Okay.
They had a lady. She was like, if you come in tomorrow, the lady's going to be here. You can get on her schedule. She was super helpful too. She was right nice.
Yeah.
The baby, like she was like, your baby's doing phenomenal. Like everything you're doing is perfect.
Yeah.
But like it still is like raw.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. I wonder if there's a way where you guys get more bottles in fridges, because like you guys aren't short on milk. Like you
so
have
much
like
in there.
literal gallons of breast milk.
There's so
it's
much.
wild. Yeah, she's been trying to save up to like donate a bit, and like it's little bags.
Yeah, we could donate a lot. We're not going to, but
Yeah, fuck those other babies. You got priorities.
apparently you can sell it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got a buddy that has triplets, and so we're trying to save up for that. Bunch of
Dang.
preemie triplet babies.
Holy shit.
Yeah, 1-pounders. It's wild. Did I account for my whole experience? The nurses were great. The baby's cool. The jaundice was terrible.
We took them to the park.
We did take him to the park. Yeah, that was kind of fun, wasn't it? That was
Yeah.
the first time they met. I mean, they didn't look at each other. You know, they weren't really conscious for it. But yeah, what a weird experience. You and me pushing strollers, our wives hanging out.
In the park that we used to play at.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
How surreal.
Oh, it's weird. We actually drove by where that road you used to live on, like with her in the truck. And I was like, holy shit. Like, I was like,
Who would have thought?
I was like, one, I'm driving a truck on this road. We used to ride a golf cart.
Yeah.
2, we have a baby in the back. 3,
Yeah.
we're passing by. We used to walk up and down the street as kids.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird to think that, like, if a camera was sitting on that spot, in the same frame, you would have seen us fighting dogs, like fighting off a dog from a golf cart that's attacking us, and you driving down with your baby, like on the same road.
Same road. It's weird.
We'll keep on walking down the boulevard. got no directions, we've been lost from the start. It's such a strange world,